everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and today guys we are going to be driving as Daniel Ricciardo at the Australian Grand Prix today. Obviously the Australian Grand Prix is this weekend and no Australian has ever won their home Grand Prix, so today we were hoping to make it a reality as Daniel Ricciardo, but we're not going to make it that easy. We're going to be starting from the back against Ultimate AI, and let's just see how well this does go for ourselves at this Australian Grand Prix. The first race of the season though, a very, very exciting one. Obviously a lot to expect from this race. Predictions personally, I think it's going to be Mercedes and Ferrari fighting at the front, with Red Bull a little bit behind them. I think I'm going to say Renault a little bit behind them, with sort of Williams, Force India fighting around a bit more. I doubt we'll see either McLaren make it to the end of the race, guys. But the one-stop strategy here on a set of soft tyres and then hopefully onto a set of the super soft tyres, although we might try and gamble it the other way around. Yes, we do. We're going to go with a set of the super softs in the first instance. Hopefully we don't lose out too much time to the top guys here. But, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights at the Australian Grand Prix. Starting from the back, and it's lights out, and away we go. And straight away, we're going to try and pass Pascal Wehrlein down towards turn 1 here. The first car on my hit list there. I'm just obviously with the extra power able to go up his inside. We're going to keep it nice and cautious down into turn 1 there. Wehrlein actually has a look back round the outside, manages to get the position back there. So into turn 1, we have made absolutely no ground up on the rest of the field here. But down towards turn 3, up the inside of Pascal Wehrlein, as well as both Saubers there. And we do move up now into P19. So at least now we're making a bit of ground. But Ericsson comes right across me there, takes a big swipe at me, but somehow sort of, off-track limits there. We do manage to hold it around his outside. And now up into P19 we go. But coming through the next corner into Sector 2 there, all the cars going very, very slowly as they all just get bottled up as we go past Kvyat and Haryanto there. So up into P17 already now, 5 positions, but obviously guys, we are obviously on the quicker tyres here, so we should be able to get past these guys very, very easily. Up the inside of Jolyon Palmer there, the first of the Renault cars that we'll have to get past. And next up on my hit list is Fernando Alonso, and I highly doubt in the real Grand Prix that it will have got this far into the race here. Closing in on Alonso as we come through the fast chicane here, one of my favourite corners around this track. If you get it right, it's so rewarding. You want to try avoid the curbs on the exit there to not lose any momentum. But Alonso having a look down the inside of Kevin Magnussen there. He thinks better of it, and hopefully, we can just gain an advantage from this. Are we going to try and look down the inside into the third last corner? Yes, we do. And we now move up into P15 of the Grand Prix. Thought about going for a move on Magnussen into the second to last corner there, but thought better of it. And into the final corner now. On the end of lap 1, we've already made up 7 positions. Make that 8. As we go straight past Kevin Magnussen there on the exit of the final corner there. So up into P14 already by the end of lap 1 here. It's looking quite good at the moment in this Grand Prix. And next up on my hit list will be Carlos Sainz in his Toro Rosso there. So obviously the sister car to myself. And now looking further on lap 2, we're going to try and look around the outside of Sainz there, but he completely shuts the door on me. Not too sure what that was all about, but hoping we can close in on him as we come round this next couple of corners onto sort of the long back straight, if you will, as Sainz gives me an absolute push all the way up near enough onto the grass there. But we do make the move up into P13 now we go. And next up on my hit list is the other Haas of Esteban Gutierrez. They're maximising our run through the fast chicane and move straight past him. Now up into P12 of the Grand Prix already at the end of lap 2. You can see now moving on to the end of lap 2, the start of lap 3 here. Raikkonen goes purple on the end of that lap here, but we're right on the gearbox of Valtteri Bottas here, hoping if we can maximise our run through turn 1 and 2 here, maybe we could try and make a move on him. We take a lot of curb through turn 1 there, try to avoid the curbs on turn 2 and almost try and make as straight an exit as you can from there. But are we going to have a look up the inside of Valtteri Bottas down towards turn 3? We pull the car alongside him there, we run him a little bit wide, and we do move now up into P11 there. So already halfway up the grid here at this stage of the Grand Prix. And next up on my hit list will be Nico Hülkenberg in his Force India here. As you can see, coming through the next couple of corners with the extra downforce, this Red Bull has such a strong chassis on this game. Hoping that we can try and get past Nico Hülkenberg here. Have a look around the outside, but obviously we won't be able to make anything from that. So we're going to switch back, think about going for a move up the inside there. Hülkenberg quite late on the brakes there, so not going to be able to make the run there. And unfortunately down this long back straight, where that Force India does have such good straight line speed with that Mercedes power unit, we'll probably struggle to get him here. But maybe, coming into the fast the fast chicane here, maybe we can try and maximise our run on the exit there. We're going to be in the slipstream, slipstream OP on this game. Are we going to have a look up the inside? We've got a very, very good run on him. We look to the inside there, make a little bit of contact with him, but we do manage to make the position stick there and force him out a little bit wide on the exit there. And now up into P10 of the Australian Grand Prix. And next up will be Jenson Button in the other McLaren Honda here, stuck behind Romain Grosjean and Felipe Massa here into the last couple of corners there. My teammate Max Verstappen currently leading this Grand Prix, but are we going to be able to get a good run on Jenson Button? Obviously now with the DRS here, as we look onto the start of lap 4 here, you know, we think about going for a move up the inside. We just get the car alongside him there, and we do move now up into P9 of the Australian Grand Prix. So, you know, it's going very, very well at the moment. 11 laps to go, and 9 positions left to make. But Grosjean now, have a look up the inside of Felipe Massa there. Does he manage to make the position stick? They go side by side into the next corner there here. They're just going to slow each other up absolutely massively. I try and look around the outside of Massa there, but Grosjean squeezes him outright. I accidentally just clip Grosjean there and lose a bit of my end plate there, so, you know, not very happy with that. You know, up into P8 now as this yellow flags out, because I think Felipe Massa and Jenson Button had a little bit of a scrap between those two. But now I'm going to look up the inside of Romain Grosjean for P7 in the Grand Prix. He turns in on me there, but we do manage to make the position stick and move now up into P7 of the Australian Grand Prix. But come the end of lap 4 here, and we are probably going to try and come into the pit lane at the end of this lap. Romain Grosjean is now out of the Grand Prix, and therefore a safety car will be deployed in the closing couple of corners of this lap. And that really couldn't have come at much more of a perfect time for myself, because we'll be able to go onto a set of these soft tyres for the remainder of this Grand Prix, and the guys all ahead of me will have to go for one more lap there. So, you know, hoping that we could potentially undercut a few of the AI, but it'll be interesting to see how many drivers do opt to make a pit stop here. We're also going to change the front wing, as we're almost theoretically getting a free pit stop out of this, but unfortunately we're going to get held up by the McLaren of Jenson Button there, costing us a couple of seconds there. But overall, I don't think it should cost us many positions in this Grand Prix. But down to 21 runners, as we've seen the Haas of Romain Grosjean out of the Grand Prix. But moving on to the end of lap 7 here, up into P14 now. And we've got 8 more laps in this Grand Prix to try and get all the way back up the field. There will be a few guys, obviously, on alternate strategies here that will have to make another pit stop. But the yellow flags are right. Now it turns to green. And, you know, hoping that we can try and maximise our run out of the final corner here to maybe try and make a move on Pascal Wehrlein down towards turn 1 here. And yes, we do get a wonderful run out of the final corner there, obviously on the fresh set of the soft tyres there. And we move up the inside of Pascal Wehrlein down towards turn 1 here. Nothing really you can do to defend it there as we brake a little bit cautiously in towards turn 1. But we move out up into P13 once again in this Grand Prix. And next up on my hit list will be Felipe Nasr there, as Perez tries to go up the inside of Marcus Ericsson there. We're able to go past Nasr there and look around the outside of Marcus Ericsson for the second time in this Grand Prix. This time with a little less contact there, as we just slip around his outside. And now up back into P11 now of the Grand Prix. And next up will once again be Sergio Perez in this race. You can see coming through the next couple of corners, we gain so much time through the high aero corners, you know, especially against something like Force India where it does run such little aero. But coming into the next couple of corners, we're master of the late braking there. Try clip that curb on the inside there to maximise our run through the next corner there and maintain as much momentum as we can. We do brush up a little bit on the wall, but coming down towards this fast chicane here, we're going to try and look up the inside of Sergio Perez there, move back up into P10 now of the Grand Prix there as we go purple in the middle sector there. Then next up will be Lewis Hamilton in his Mercedes, so now it's looking like we could be fighting with the big boys in this Grand Prix. And by the end of lap 8, Hamilton's getting held up behind Haryanto and Julian Palmer here, which is going to gain us a huge amount of time there. You can see he's also on a medium set of tyres here, so coming out of the final corner there, are we going to try and make a move on Hamilton? He tries to look up the inside of Rio Haryanto here. We could try and make it 3 wide, but we think better of it as we go down towards turn 1. Try to maximise my run out of the exit there as we go past Haryanto, and hoping, you know, if we can maximise our run, we could look up the inside of Lewis Hamilton down in towards turn 3, a key overtaking place so far in this Grand Prix. He's just a little bit too far up the road from me there, so we think better of it there as we come through the next couple of corners there to the exit of Sector 1 here of this Australian Grand Prix. You can see he's catching up to Julian Palmer as well, so we're going to try and think about going for a move there. Unfortunately, we just get too close to him, so I have to back out of there, but taking as much curve as we possibly can here. Now we're going to look around his outside there. He's going to try and make a move on Julian Palmer here. Is he not? We're going to peel to the inside of him. Going to try and go up the inside of Palmer as well there. He gets caught on the outside as we managed to make a double overtake there. Now up into P7 of the Grand Prix, and unfortunately for me, Hamilton is able to go around the outside of Palmer, and he also manages to follow me through. But next up, as you can see, moving on to the end of lap 10 here. Now closing up to Sebastian Vettel. As you can see, we're up into P5 now, where a couple more drivers did opt to make their pit stops here. So, you know, Sebastian just off the podium at this moment in time in this Australian Grand Prix. So hoping, you know, into the final corners, we could demote him one more position. Are we going to try and make a move down into the second to last corner? We look up the inside, we get side by side with him there, and we do make the position stick as we go slightly on the grass there. But behind us now, Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel make a bit of contact. So Sebastian has lost out far more time there than he ever intended. But you can see now, moving on to lap 11 here, and we've only got Nico Rosberg, Kimi Raikkonen and my teammate Max Verstappen, who is still somehow leading this Grand Prix. But you can see, skipping on now to lap 13 here, we're right up behind Verstappen there. He's dropped all the way down into P3 here, and as you can see, we're still going purple in this Grand Prix, obviously on the quicker tyre in comparison to the AI. So are we going to be able to make a move on my teammate Max Verstappen? We're going to have to go for a bit of a dive bomb on him into Sector 2 there, and we do make the position stick. Now up into P3, into the podium positions now of this Australian Grand Prix. And next up on my hit list is Kimi Raikkonen here, so, you know, hoping that we can dispatch of him into the next couple of corners here, and maybe try and maximise our run to try and get ever closer to Nico Rosberg now, who's got a couple of second lead over Kimi Raikkonen here, but using all the straight line speed and the slipstream. We look up the inside of Raikkonen there. He does try to turn in on me a little bit, but we do manage to move now up into P2, and now the chase is on to try and catch up with Nico Rosberg, who currently leads this Grand Prix. As you can see, he's still got a couple of second lead, but as the soft tyres slowly start to get slower and slower here, you know, maybe the medium tyres might, you know, become the quicker tyre. But now moving on, as you can see, on to lap 15, the final lap of this Grand Prix. We've closed in on Rosberg absolutely massively. Still, as you can see, coming into the final sector of this Grand Prix. Obviously, we really want to win this. If Ricciardo was in the same position in the real race, perhaps he would go for a rash dive bomb into the last few corners here, but right on Nico Rosberg's gearbox. Are we going to be able to make a move into the second last corner here? We're going to peel to the inside. We're going to try and throw it alongside him there. We nearly crashed into him there, but we do move now up into the lead of the Australian Grand Prix with 2 corners to go in this race, and we're going to come through to win the Australian Grand Prix as Daniel Ricciardo, starting from the back.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. Daniel Ricciardo takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I think I'm going to give it to Daniel Ricciardo. He's come through the field so well today, you know. Well deserved.
Well, what a week.
But there we are then, guys. Anthony Davidson rightfully says Daniel Ricciardo, the driver of the day there, P22, starting from the back to manage to win the Australian Grand Prix in the final couple of corners as well. But hopefully, you know, you guys have enjoyed this video. If you're new around here, do not forget to like and subscribe for more content. I'm going to try and do more Grand Prix challenges over the course of the season on the 2016 and when finally F1 2017 does come out as well, guys. But as I said, do not forget to like and subscribe if you're new around here. Hopefully, you know, we'll see a brilliant Australian Grand Prix tomorrow, guys. And I hope to see you next time for another Grand Prix challenge.